What?
Start.
Good morning. I'm Ganesh.
And I'm Vibhor.
Our project is about people counting in dense crowd images and its application in detecting COVID-19 guide rule violation. And our guide name is Jeeta Shreyaparjita, ma'am. So our motivation for the project is both in the first wave and the current second wave of coronavirus lockdown, it has been observed that common people may violate the COVID-19 guide rules due to an emergency or could be anything. So one of the major roadblock for government is to track these people and identify these locations where they are more crowd, where they violate the guideline. In our project, we have tried to solve this problem by using an pre-existing model that is crowd counting algorithm based on deep learning, where we gather data from random places via CCTV footage, either in the any junctions or in a public gathering places, and we use our algorithm to crowd the count and we alert the authorities based on the result. Our proposed framework will work even in the changing guidelines too. Our objective of the project: the main aim of the proposed work is automatically to detect the COVID-19 guideline areas mainly. This has been done by providing an end-to-end model for crowd counting through surveillance and continuous update about the size of the crowd. Further, authorities which they will be alerted about the size of the crowd in a particular place, and they will decide whether the crowd is violating the COVID-19 rules or not. And our project is achieved by running crowd counting algorithm on every frame 2 to 3 minutes with the help of neural network techniques. Here in our project, we used Google Collaboratory. The Google Colab At the beginning of the project, we started using a Jupyter Notebook using a local host, but due to the raw data, which is uh, the more in number, and due to the complexity of the code, uh, our program just to train our models, it took more than 24 hours just to train our models. So, which is not a worth spending that much time on our model. So we shifted our project to Google Colab. Google Colab is a web IDE for Python to enable machine learning with storage on cloud. It gives a decent GPU where we can continuously run it for 12 hours. Google Colab notebooks execute code on Google servers regardless the power and capacity of the device. It is used for machine learning, data analysis, and deep learning. Here, uh, the libraries that are used in the in our project is the H5P. Uh, the libraries that are used in our collaboratories, the first one is H5PY. This H5PY is used to convert the image into binary format, and the next library is Sci-Fi, where we can use this for solving complex mathematical problems within less time. And the next one is NumPy, where we use NumPy. Uh, it NumPy is used for multi-dimensional arrays. And the next one is OS module. The OS module in Python provides functions for creating or removing a directory, uh, which we can use to store images, the resulted images from the videos, the frames actually. And next one is SCIPY. SCIPY is an open source library used for mathematical, scientific, engineering, and technical problems. And we use Glob. Glob is a short form for global. It's used to return all the file paths that match a specific pattern. And this is the detailed proposed block diagram of our project. This is the actual application. Here, we take the input from any CCTV camera that is currently active, where we take the video for a minute duration or two, and we convert the video into frames using OpenCV libraries, and then detect the individual present in the frame using CNN, actually CSRNet, and then count the number of individuals present in the frame. And if uh, crowd count is if the crowd count was more than the guidelines that are provided by the government, then it will inform the authorities, and the authorities will take the action. The stage one where we convert the videos into frames using OpenCV. Uh, in our project, we used a real-time data of a medical store and a hospital where the crowd was uh, more in a single frame. Here we understand the environment from where the video has been recorded and select the frames based on public movement. And here there is an existing model already proposed by Shame et al. Here the crowd image which was taken as an input will be divided or sent into two operations. One is CNN head detector and one is overlaying grid framework. This is the proposed already existing model. And in the already existing model, CNN identifies the whether the head is present or not. Also, if here the quality of the image and the complexity of the data present in the image will lead to cause distortions in CNN head detection. And here we use on in the similar way we use overlaying grid framework where we divide images into number of blocks and use binary SME classification to detect whether there is an image head present or not. But the drawbacks of the uh, existing model is uh, CSR feature is a feature detection based algorithm. So it might detect something wrong like dustbins, traffic lights as a head, and the overlaying grid framework might possibly detect the crowd count absolutely. But when it comes to the polynomial regression they have presented here, it's a non-linear polynomial regression. So there might be a lot of difference in uh, the output, the weighted average. So in our proposed model we use CSRnet, where in CSRnet we use the CSRnet is of less complexity and high flexibility. It generates good density map to identify which region has maximum density, and we use the concept of center of gravity both after CSRnet and overlaying grid framework. Once the CSRnet has generated the density map for the a particular frame of a video, we use center concept of center of gravity to locate the center of mass of a detected head. So we there will be more accuracy in detecting the heads. So will be for the overlaying grid framework where we use center of gravity concept to map the heads, and the binary SME classification will detect the heads which are present in each grid of the frame. So we use here Gaussian regression to get the output, and Vibor will continue. Vibor,
You stop presenting.
it's now.
I will present now. You stop presenting.
All right, Vibor. Is the video recording
Visible?
no? Yes, you can go to the PPT.
Completely visible, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Full screen.
Yes, go to slideshow. Slideshow at the top from current slide. Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so now, up till now, we have discussed about how center of gravity can be useful in estimating our. Uh, Instead of polynomial regression, we can use the center of gravity concept for head counting. So, center of gravity for head detection can be useful when our time complexity is very high, and center of gravity is useful to locate the exact points without giving much time and other resources. And also, by using polynomial regression, we are not able to get the exact count patches, and so center of gravity is also very useful when we are dealing with many when we are dealing with very huge tech data sets like Shanghai tech data set, and it is also useful when we are using the dense crowd instead of sparse crowds. So various ML techniques have been used to find the Cartesian coordinates, and we can combine these various ML techniques and deep learning techniques with center of gravity to obtain a good count of the head without less mean average error and mean square error. So we analyze our weighted average, that is the total sum of the head counts from the stage 2 algorithm and the environment from which we recorded. Here, environment means like how exactly it is dense or it is sparse. And we have to compare it with the COVID 19 guideline. Like we should keep a count on how the total number of people will be there. If it exceeds, then we will inform the government or the authority. So if there is a violation, we will inform the authority, and if like we can manually uh, tell them, or we can have the automated process. So we started our work by implementing different methods of like using the polynomial regression, and then we moved on to center of gravity because it has various advantages over polynomial regression. So we will be evaluating our algorithm on Shanghai Tech dataset A and dataset B. So Shanghai Tech dataset is the most comprehensive of all the tech datasets because it contains around 3 lakh 30,000 individual annotated images, and individuals, 3 lakh individuals, and on around 11,000 uh, 1198 images. So we will be generating our algorithm on this Shanghai Tech dataset A and B, and then we will compare it with the actual number of people in the images. So work done. We have to literature survey. We collected different papers and
You can skip
compare
this
it.
part.
So yeah, COVID the main application of our project is to detect the COVID-19 like if the capacity increases, then we will inform the authority about the number of people, which is definitely required in today's environment. So we will take the videos from the different CCTV cameras, and we will convert these videos into images, and if and then we will count the number of human heads. If they increases the if they increases the capacity, then we'll inform the authority. So we have crowd management, which we have seen just now, and then we have terror attack detection. If there is some attacks taking place, then we can also keep the count the total number of terrorists there, and also in the military applications by counting the total number of drones and fighter jets. Then we had different constraints for this. The biggest constraint was the time capacity, time complexity with our limited system, and then we achieved this by reducing the training and the testing time. And another constraint was the complexity of the codes on our system was not fast enough because there were huge number of images, and it was taking a lot of time in our computer to run it. Then we Okay, so this is our result on this random image which we have taken, and this is the predicted count. This is our density map, which is showing around predicted count to be 27. And this also we have predicted count on our density model to be around 31, then 28 on this image, then this on this image we have around 19, in this 18, in this 19, in this 9, and this we have the Shanghai Tech dataset A, in which we have around 70 number of people. In this we have around 172 number of people, and the number of people which was given by our headcount model is this, and the manual headcount, which is the actual number of people, is uh, is given in the column 2. So we were getting a little bit different kind of a very little error in this, but it's almost similar to what the number of people are actually there. So our algorithm is very much close to the actual number of people. So yeah, this is the application, and it is a CCTV camera which will count the total number of people, and if any time we will like run our algorithm every 1 or 2 minutes, and then we will inform the authority if it increases the total number of people there. So this was our project timeline, and these were all the references which we used. This
Now
is a okay. Thank
let's
you.
show the working model now. Stop sharing the screen over. I'll share now. Can you see the screen now, Vibor? Hello.
Yes.
All right then. This is the code that we have used to generate the density map and to generate the count for the random video that has been given as an input. Here we mounted our Google Drive for libraries like Shanghai dataset, etc. We installed uh, pip install image to convert to detect the frame and to convert the frames into images. Here, as I explained before, these are the libraries that we have imported, and now here we uh, use a Gaussian filter in this particular code. We use a Gaussian filter function for regression, where we use Gaussian. You can see here where we use Gaussian density tree. We used Gaussian decision tree based regression. Here, in this is the stage one where we loaded the roots of the uh, loaded the paths of the datasets that are stored in the Google Drive previously, and we load the paths here. And this is the part where we train our images, the dataset. Here you can see Shangi part A final train data. Here we train our data that has been provided in the Shangi dataset. You can see the images which are already trained. Here we check the uh, whether those images are detect whether those Shangi images where our algorithm able to detect the count or not. Here you can see pretty much see that for this image it's showing the, you can see here the density image. The dots here are light in light blue color and yellow patches are the head counts that are plotted by density map, and here is the uh, average count of the number of heads. And so do we here we train the part B, and post that we use as mentioned in the algorithm we use here CSNet using PyTorch, here where we load the already pre-trained values. You can see here part A train.json, part A well.json. uh, we're going to run this and we import libraries once again. And these are the values that we gave out to our algorithm for normalizing. Here we define the paths, here we define the model, and here is the program that we are going to run to extract the video, to extract the frames from the video. Here we have selected a folder named folder 4, and here is the folder 4. And let's check. uh, if that's an image, that's an fatal error, we can ignore it. And the video which we have uh, given is drugstore, where it's a medical store video for about a minute or two, and the frames of the video has been stored in folder 4 now. So you can see these are the uh, number of frames that are generated by our algorithm. And now when we run our code to detect the crowd count for like once in 50 images. So just to show, give me a second. So let's take a random input and let's copy the path. And now, let's give it here. The path which I have pasted is for one of the frame, this frame that has been generated by our algorithm. This is a real-time data collected in our locality, and here is the density map that is generated for this image. So the average count for this frame is 30. So maybe for another image, like let's if we change it to 100, 100th image, that was, so it shows 31. So our code is approximately generating the values by here. The yellow color patches which you are able to see in this blue color density map is the heads that are counted by our algorithm. So Vibor will conclude now.